getting ready to watch a video.
Really? What?
Oh, just some scary movie.
Where art and reality converge, the echoes of true crime reverberating through the corridors of our imagination and into the shadow of the Idaho4 crimes. The lines between reality and fiction blur in a hauntingly direct manner.
Jason Eck era has officially begun in Moscow. The new head coach looking to get the Vandals back to winning with his new offense and an axe.
I was really pleased with his effort all day and expected big things from his senior year. Nate DeGraw, where you at?
Yeah. I think it brings out people being like, I want to work harder today so I can get that recognition, and it's kind of like a badge of honor almost. So it brings more energy and more attitude to the locker room.
Spring ball actually day one. Coach brought it out and I was like, oh yeah, let's rock with that. I love that.
The Axe Man, an honor handed out daily at Vandals practice to the hardest working player, earning bragging rights for the daily winner.
Definitely.
Are you going to be walking around with it today, show it off?
Probably. I might bring it down to lunch if I can get it from him.
From the friends of the victims wielding an array of sharp implements, from formidable jungle knives to menacing cleavers, engaged in macabre play brandishing what would later be alleged to be the murder weapon itself, the K-bar knife, in a grim foreshadowing of the tragedy to come, adding to the chilling narrative of one of the victims in a twist of fate that now seems laden with dark irony, as Xana was once dressed up as a slasher victim a few Halloweens past. It really makes you question, are ethnic costumes the ones that are truly offensive, or the ones that depict actual real victims of crime? Contrasting with the sorority of two of the victims having the mascot of angels and them often being depicted as actual angels kind of compounds the eerie connections. And, well, there's also this sister of the perpetrator taking a starring role in a slasher film.
A case of life imitating art? Murder suspect Bryan Kohberger's sister appears in a gory slasher film.
Must be out of my mind.
34-year-old Amanda Kohberger has been there with the rest of her family to support her brother. Years earlier, in 2011, she had a part in a low-budget film 2 days back. The movie has a typical horror movie plot: students who venture into the woods only to be slashed to death. Her name appears in the credits. The movie director says he was floored when Bryan Kohberger was arrested in the University of Idaho slayings case. His sister played Lori in the film.
The first reaction is shock. The first reaction is, oh my God, are you kidding?
Kevin Boone says Amanda Kohberger came to an open call.
She came and auditioned. We liked her, so I offered one of the major roles.
You got to also think, man, eerie coincidence too between what happened in Idaho and this movie where it's young people getting stabbed.
Yeah, I can understand where people would want to make those connections.
Further entwining the tragic events with the thematic elements of horror and cinema. In another remarkable twist that blurs the lines between life and art, the involvement of Bryan Kohberger's mother, the alleged perpetrator of the Idaho4 crimes, in writing articles on significant issues like the death execution, school shootings, and even abortion. Her writings inadvertently mirror the complexities of human behavior, societal issues, in a way that are often explored in artistic expressions. Her articles, a canvas that would later become the real-life reflection of her son's story, now faced with execution himself. And in this Pocono record, she writes, "Editor, the record. I wish to challenge the common belief often promoted in this forum that all Democrats are in favor of abortion rights. Personally, I do not support abortion, nor do I endorse the death penalty. State-sanctioned killing is in essence still murder. Interestingly, Those who vehemently oppose a woman's choice are often the same individuals who endorse the sacrifice of innocent soldiers in conflicts founded on falsehoods. Critics of the war are quickly branded as an unpatriotic or even more despairingly, ignorant. It appears that the mortality of some contributors to this forum is highly selective, assuming they possess the ultimate authority to dictate the beliefs of others. Moreover, categorizing individuals into singular, political, or ideological group is an act of arrogance. The Marine Corps' motto, Semper Fi, should resonate with everyone who loves this country, not just an exclusive group. Marianne Kohberger, from Effort, Pennsylvania. In the response to epic school shootings, she writes, "As I sat this morning, overwhelmed by the news of yet another school shooting, I was torn over the necessary steps to end this chaos. What could be the solution? Is it tighter gun control laws, or is there a need for more focus on mental health?" Then a message from my daughter, who is a mental health therapist in New Jersey, came through. She sent me a poem she wrote in a moment of deep despair, and it profoundly moved me, compelling me to share it. The poem, written by Melissa Kohberger, on May 24, 2022, in response to the Uvalde, Texas shooting and tragedy. Gone is their laughter. Silence fills the air. As we lay our children to rest, tiny hands and feet now part the earth in the world that let them down. Marianne writes, "Reading these lines, I realize that whatever solutions we find, our children's safety must come before the right to bear arms." Marianne Kohberger, Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. There are others who have posted that another article called "Cheering the Hearse" was written by the same Marianne Kohberger. Brooklyn, perhaps one of the saddest commentaries on mankind, was evident during the execution of Theodore Bundy. While no sane, compassionate individual would excuse the atrocities committed by this man, neither would any sane individual applaud the passing of his funeral hearse. What have we become? Is the taking of human life acceptable when the state takes responsibility for it? Marianne Kohberger. Although this Marianne is signed with Mary and Anne being separated, so I'm not really sure that this Ted Bundy quote can actually be attributed to her, but it does obviously appear that the other ones are, with the inclusion of her daughter, Melissa, being involved in that article. But the fluctuation in her first name spelling could possibly indicate that this ancient one about Ted Bundy's execution is not possibly the same Marianne. Either way, it's absolutely insane that she would be talking about the death penalty and then one day wind up with her son facing execution in the state of Idaho. Even crazier that she would talk about a student massacre and multiple murder, and then her son would wind up facing execution for the same.